We are on Treasure Island, Chapter 2. Black Dog appears and disappears. It was a bitter cold winter with long, hard frosts and heavy gales. Unfortunately, my poor father wouldn't be able to see the spring. The inn was left in the hands of my mother and me. One morning, the captain rose earlier than usual. With the spyglass in his hand, he went to the beach, his cutlass swinging beneath his coat. I was laying the breakfast table when the door opened and a man walked in. He was a pale, thin, and tall person and had two fingers on his left hand missing. Even though he had a sword, he didn't look like one to fight, and though the man didn't look like a sailor, he had something of the sea about him. He asked for rum and called me from where he was sitting. "Is this the table of my mate Bill?" he asked. I told him that it was the captain's table. "Well," he said, "Bill would want to be called captain. He has a cut on his right cheek. Is he around?" I told him the captain had gone out for a walk. When he saw the captain approaching, he said, "Let's give Bill a little surprise." He hid us both behind the door. He had loosened his sword and he stood ready. When the captain walked in, the man called out, "Bill!" The captain had the look of a man who had seen a ghost. "Black Dog!" he gasped. "And who else?" asked the stranger. "As always, here I am to see you. It's been a long time since I lost these two fingers." "Well," said the captain, "now that you've found me, what is it that you want?" Black Dog sent me away, and suddenly I heard shouting, and when I rushed back in, I saw the captain with his sword drawn chasing Black Dog. Despite bleeding from the soldier, Black Dog ran quickly, as if his life depended on it. The captain stood at the entrance of the inn and stared at him in utter shock. He ran his hands over his eyes, and then suddenly he fainted. The captain looked as pale as death. "Call for the doctor," cried my mother, who came to see what had happened. When Dr. Livesley examined him, he said that the captain had had a stroke. He sent me for water, and then he tore open the captain's sleeve. His strong, muscular arm revealed many tattoos from a hanging. His strong, muscular arm revealed many tattoos, one of them being a man hanging from a noose around his neck. The name Billy Bones was written below it. "We must try to save this Billy Bones' life," said the doctor. He then cut open a vein, and blood started pouring out. The captain woke up and frowned slightly when he saw the doctor, and suddenly he asked nervously, "Where is Black Dog?" The doctor replied, "There is no Black Dog here. You've just had a stroke, and I saved your life." "Against my will, Mr. Bones." "That is not my name," interrupted the captain. "That is not my interest. I am here to tell you that if you continue to have rum, you will surely die. Good day to you, sir." The doctor told me that if the captain had another stroke, he would die. Chapter 3. Let's read 2 chapters because that was very short. By afternoon, I entered the captain's room. He saw me coming in and he barked out, "I can't lie in bed for a week. I've been having visions of old Flint himself. Tell me," he said, "have you seen that sailor?" I asked him if he meant Black Dog, and he shook his head. "No, not Black Dog. The sailor's much worse. He may give me a death note. We'll call this note a black spot. They're after my sea chest. Now be a good lad and get me a glass of rum." I refused. "Oh, come now, lad. The doctor himself said that I could have a glass once in a while." I sighed and I got him a glass of rum, which he finished greedily. "That's much better," he said, satisfied. "You see, lad, I was Flint's first mate, and I am only one who knows where the treasure is hidden. The man with one leg and Black Dog are after it. You keep an eye out for them, and I promise I will share that treasure with you." I told him all I wanted was the money he owed my father. Unfortunately, that very same night, my dear father died. The day after the funeral, I was standing by the back door thinking of my father when I saw a blind man making his way towards the inn. He was bent over a knobby old stick. When he asked out loud where he was, I answered, "The Admiral Benbow Inn." He asked me to help him inside, and as I stretched out my hand towards him, I saw that he was eyeless. Suddenly he grasped my hand in a very strong grip and twisted it behind my back. "Now, boy," he said calmly, "take me to the captain or I will break your arm. When you are near him, tell him that there is a friend to see him." I did as I was commanded. The captain, on seeing the blind man, sat up looking frightened and sick. He tried to rise, but he was too weak. "Now, Bill, stay where you are," said the blind man. "We have business to finish. Hold out your left hand." Boy, take his left hand by the wrist and bring it near my right hand." I did as I was told. He dropped something into the captain's hand. "It is done," he said. Without saying another word, he ran out of the door with amazing speed. The captain looked into his palm with horror, saying, "10 o'clock! I have 6 hours left." Saying that, he jumped up to his feet. All of a sudden, he went still, grabbed his throat, and he fell on the floor. I tried to revive him, but it was too late. The captain was dead. He had had another stroke. Even though I never liked him much, I burst into tears. After all, it was the second death in a row that I had witnessed in just 2 days. And that's the end of chapter 3.